So, for grounding the reading, we have a rune here that represents movement of some sort. So, it can also have to do with transportation or movement. It can have to do with both movement in the physical world with some type of vehicle, or progress or development, movement for just movement forward in life circumstances and improvement on things. So because this has to do, actually the falcon or the hawk has to do with movement too, which is kind of interesting. This is about moving, flying home and moving out and then coming back again. So there's possibly some type of physical movement where you go away and then come back again. In a sense of soul retrieval. A lot of times I feel like when I am overwhelmed and I take a vacation or I take a trip, it's like I go away to find myself again and to come home again. And then as I come home again, everything kind of falls back into place and becomes clear. A lot of times, if we remove ourselves from the situation and then come back again, everything becomes much more clear. So these are our moving line steps in time, and we start out with Mandarina, which has to do with communication, physical, verbal communication, a heart to heart, where something is consciously expressed through words to another person. It also has to do with bridging of worlds, where there is the clearing up of miscommunication and bringing information and knowledge to light, true expression from the heart. We have this paired with a sense of poverty, or feeling enslaved, or feeling stuck, or bound to something. So somebody is feeling trapped and stuck, and that's this rune, Athala in reverse. So there's this freedom through this communication, or there is something, this is bridging of worlds. So it's like if this is combined with somebody who is feeling imprisoned, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, feeling suppressed, feeling oppressed, feeling like a slave or poor, homeless. It's bridging. There's a bridging with another, because Mandarina is orange in the Basque language, and the Basque people, they're a linguistic anomaly in anthropology. Nobody knows how they got the language they got. It has nothing to do with any of the other languages around them. It's just like a totally different language. They developed something that has no similarity whatsoever with any of the other language groups around them. So it's like they became an island in their mind. They say mind is very tied to language. The way a culture thinks can be understood by hearing the way they talk, knowing the way their words are set up, the way their language is set up is the way that they see things. The way that they talk is the way that they see things. It shapes their worldview. The language shapes a worldview. So we have this kind of bridging of worldviews, bridging of realms of thought that are separate through this communication, where one person who is feeling imprisoned somehow is able to bridge the gap between them and somebody else. And then we move into Aurora, which has to do with when things get extreme. And we have this other card up here, and what's getting better. We have Snowball, which also has to do with things getting extreme, things escalating. So, but when things get extreme, they can be visible. They become visible. With everything. I mean, when you see, I work in the mental health field, so when you see a psychopath, then all of a sudden you can detect shades of narcissism, and you can see the lesser forms. You know, when you see the full blown personality, you can see the lesser forms of that personality. When you see an extreme mental illness, you can see the shades of that mental illness. Even though a person might not have a mental illness later, you can see the traits or the shades of it when you, after you see the full blown thing, you know. When a situation comes to a head, you see who people really are. So this has something to do with going to the extremes, because Aurora has to do with, you know, in the North and South Pole, you see the light of the universe come in, and you can only see this at the extremes, but you actually are able to see the light of the universe, and it becomes visible. And then I pulled a clarifying card on this. What is this that we're seeing? And this has to do with, traditionally this is actually a card of like kind of confusion and feeling lost, or not knowing what to choose, or what's real, or how to think about things. And my chicken card for this traditional card is Dahlia, and it has to do with going back to your roots, knowing yourself, knowing not just your spiritual self, but knowing your context within people, knowing your context from your past, your ancestry, your ethnic background, knowing your genetics, knowing your makeup, your personal makeup, knowing exactly what your personal makeup is and how it came to be, and based on that, really finding a rootedness and a groundedness. And from a rooted, grounded place, we can make those wise decisions. We can know what it is that we really resonate with or really go with. We shouldn't ever have to do something in life that is a total struggle. You know, things we should be able to meet our challenges. If something is too challenging, maybe that's not the right thing. You know, but a little challenge is okay, but we have to be able to have the genetics and the psychology to be able to meet those challenges. We need to be prepared. If we can't envision it and see it and feel it, then it's probably not going to be a good thing. So this is about really being able to put yourself in your own shoes and seeing what you can really do and who you can really go with, and what you really are meant to connect with, what really makes your sense of self stronger. And with Dahlia, I do recommend, you know, doing things that bring you back to your sense of self. Maybe taking a class, taking a course. I do that a lot of times. There's a Coursera. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but free online courses you can take, and you can audit any type of course. So it's really amazing. They have top universities. You just go online, sign up, and take free courses whenever you want. And a lot of times it brings me back to my sense of self. I feel, you know, when I am educating myself in my own area of expertise, it makes me feel stronger or more solid, you know, more prepared, or more developed in some sense. And we have this paired with the rune of gifts. So I want to say, you know, it's almost like things come to an extreme, things are seen, and and all of a sudden you kind of come into yourself, and this balance, or this like understanding which cup to choose, understanding who you are, what way to go, all of a sudden produces like contracts, partnerships, gifts. It can be in the physical world, or it can be in terms of relationships, but it has to do with connecting, bonding, exchanging of things, exchanging of items, sharing, and entering into an agreement with people based on everything that is seen here, and who you are and what you go with. Like, everybody knows, okay, you fit here, and we've set you up with this now because you fit here, and we see this, and this is visible, and you get this now, and you get secured in a position that really works for you. And then we move into a place of shaking things off and being really stable. And so this is Akasha Noche, which has to do with understanding your place in the universe, or who you are, what you're meant to have, how you're meant to live, and stepping into that life of eternal love, I want to say, too, coming back to this. It's like that your eternal essence has a place and a position. It's meant to live out and act out. And this is about finding that and living that and being that. And then I drew another clarifying card on that, and we have lavender, which is also a sense of stability and shaking things off and cleansing the aura, and letting go, surrendering, and just getting everything out of your space that doesn't belong. And this is like mental stability, and then this is physical stability, and just really purifying yourself, purifying your life, purifying your everything. If you're physically pure, then really everything else is pretty open and receptive and pure as well. So it's like this purification that happens here. And then we have Anzus in reverse combined with this. So this has to do with manipulations and delusions, misunderstandings, being bored, not understanding. Also, it has to do with some narcissism. So this is in reverse. So I want to say you got your stability here, but you gotta get rid of. This is what you need to let go of. If there's manipulation by others, people who don't understand you, people who don't understand what's going on, which here we already have this understanding coming to light. So this rune here is almost like this stage here being resolved, and then we have this like clearing off and shaking off, and knowing oneself and one's belonging. And if you know yourself, if you are really self-aware, nobody can really knock you off your feet. You're solid, and you do have these 2-4 solid grounded cards here. I think last month you guys had a lot of balance. It was all about balance and being balanced. So again, you obviously have your skill set with keeping your balance when different things are going on, or being able to regain balance anytime things come in and try and overwhelm you, or anything that happens. You can always regain your balance really quickly. And then, so what is getting better here is snowball, this escalation. I want to say what escalates in one direction will end up escalating in the other direction. So, in whatever way it has escalated before. In a negative, we have the improvement where it's going to escalate in the positive. We got the swinging of the pendulum. My cat. And then I pulled a clarifying card on that, and we have Ostara, which has to do with fertility and redistribution. So it's like cultural or social, cultural or social norms, like rules, but norms, like understandings, like certain level of like, this is how it works. You know, this is how this culture works. This is how this is the normal way. And it does have to do with redistribution, where, you know, funds or finances or assets of some sort are redistributed, where the people who have less receive from people who have more. So there's this rebalancing again here, between people in the community, people in the society, and the individuals. So we have this coming back to equilibrium in a community setting. And the rune we have with this is has to do with protection and defense and getting rid of problems, connecting with the higher values, higher life, higher dimensions, and you know, rising above things, basically. So there is this kind of, again, working something out where the community here is, you know, is becoming rebalanced, and whatever this is here that is going on, that where they have poverty, there is this, you know, poverty that needs to be bridged. It does get bridged here. This extreme stuff that's going on, where somebody is being oppressed and put in a position of jail, of imprisonment. This is now shifting and changing, and there's this rebalancing going on here. And then our overall message card here is dandelion, which has to do with making a wish and spreading your seeds and setting your intentions. And with that, as you spread your seeds, as you make that real for yourself, step by step, it becomes a field. From one dandelion, you can make a whole field of dandelions. So you can start with, you know, one, and it also has to do with multiplicity and just, you know, really having something that you have small, growing and spreading. And I pulled a clarifying card on that, and we have Birdie Baby, which has to do with the universe is at work, bringing something into birth where you are a part of it, but it is beyond you. You look at so many things in history, so many things even in the universe, and things come into birth beyond an individual. They are players in it. They are a part of it, but they were not it wasn't them who brought it into birth. It was more the right timing, the right elements, the universe giving birth to something. And you happen to get to be a part of it, and you're doing your part in making your wishes and planting your seeds and spreading your desire out there, or spreading your intentions or your requests for need, your needed requests.